Well, I want to welcome everybody to our a Toastmaster meeting for this evening. Our meeting number is 348, and our meeting theme is Release Your Dream Speaker from Within. Now, I have to say right off the bat about having a speaker inside of you that's trapped. Now, I don't know about I don't know about you, but have you ever been in a car and I don't know, you gave this great toast or you had this great rebuttal for somebody and it sounds so good in the car, but no one else is in the car but you. The same holds true with speakers. You know, you speak, you plan for a great speech. For me, I'm in the car, I'm giving the speech. The speech is fantastic. I finished the speech. The crowd goes, wow. I go to the meeting, I go to give the speech, and I don't know, that speaker went away. Can't find that speaker. And so that is the purpose of this meeting, is to be able to come to a place where you're able to find your voice, where you're able to find the speaker from within. You only do that through practice. And that's what you get to do here in a safe environment. Whatever you do, it stays here. Like, that saying about Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, the same here. Nothing, we don't go telling anybody, oh, they messed up on a speech or something. No, because that's why you're here, so that you get better at what you do. And the only way you can do that is through practice. And you can't do it at work because you can't stand in front of people and say, oh, I'm just practicing this, because the boss isn't going to like that. So you have to be on point, and the only way you can do that is through practice. So I'm going to encourage everybody to let go of your fear of imperfection and be bold in speaking today, whatever role you happen to be part of, and support each other's growth. And with that, we're going to go right now into our meeting. So let's get started and take another step forward, releasing that voice within. So we're going to start with Rita. Oh, somebody's at the door. Thank you. All right, so we have Rita, which is our grammarian. Rita, can you tell us what your role entails?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guest. As the grammarian, I'm tasked to listen to our usage of English because that's the language that our meetings operate in. I listen especially for outstanding words and phrases and sentences. I also offer a word for us to use, for us to integrate into our presentations, into our speeches. And I invite every presenter to liberate yourself by using the word liberate. So, my word for the evening is liberate. It's a verb and it means to free someone or something. In a sentence, then, I could say that computers can liberate special needs students so that they can function at their highest potential. So I believe that when we release our dream speaker from within, as Elton alluded to for his theme, it allows us to become our best selves. Now, at the end of the meeting, I will come back with my observations on how well we used the language. So let's liberate ourselves. As we use the word, we will acknowledge use of the word by clicking our fingers or clapping or whatever you want to do. And I will keep count of the number of times that we use the word liberate. I will not give you a designated number, but I'm encouraging everyone to liberate themselves, to free the voice, to free the person from within so that they could become liberated. I pass the mic to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Rita, for your thorough explanation of the grammarian role. Can we hear from Bibi, who is our all counter?
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. It's my pleasure to be the counter today. I'm going to be listening very carefully to all those filler words that we use to join sentences because we don't want to stop, take a pause, take a breath, and sounds far better when we do that. So we tend to use filler words like so, and then sometimes we may use because, and so forth, At the end of the meeting, I will give a report of all the usage of filler words. So please be cognizant. And if you think you're going to use a filler word, please pause, take a deep breath, and give us that beautiful smile instead. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Bibi. Adrian, can you tell us about the timer role?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most honored guests. As your timer, I'll be using the green, yellow, and red backgrounds to signal your time remaining. Just think of me as the traffic light of public speaking. Green means go, yellow means speed up, and red means wrap it up before I start playing the Oscars music. So for example, for table topics, they will be 2 minutes and with a grace period of 30 seconds. Most speeches are 5 to 7 minutes and evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Back to you, Elton Brown.
Thank you very much, Adrian. And we're now going to move into our next portion of our meeting, and that is table topics. And Yukta is the Toastmaster that is handling table topics. So Yukta, the floor is yours. And can you explain what table topics is?
Thank you so much, Elton DTM. Good evening, everyone. I am the Toastmaster of the evening, which means I have come here with an opportunity for all of you to liberate yourselves by speaking on a topic that is random, that you may or may not have expected to have today or to see today. But I'm doing this a little differently. Usually, in table topic segment, you have the table topic master coming up and giving you a topic. But today you do not have a topic that I'm giving you, but you're going to look at images. You will look at the images and let the speaker in you come out and be an artist and speak your mind out. Is everyone good with that? Okay, wonderful. The time you have is 1 to 2 minutes. Or can all of you see Adrian on top left-hand side corner? Okay, including people in the room. Perfect. So the moment you see green, you've completed 1 minute, which means now you're either good to go, or if you want to wrap up, you can do that. But you must speak at least till the first minute or the green signal. Yellow means you're midway through, and red means you need to wrap it up now because you're over time. So that's how the timings work. Speak on the topic, but you can make any story that you want to share with us today. And I'm going to share my screen right here. Whenever you can see this. All right. Highly encourage you to use the word of the day, which is liberate. If you think you may not remember to do that, you might want to pin our grammarian Rita so that you can see her on the screen and you remember that you've got to use the word of the day. Who wants to take the first stab at the first topic? You get to choose numbers between 1 to 5, and whatever is the topic there is what you will be talking on. Who wants to go first? Come on, who wants to go first?
I'll go. I'll go.
Go
Okay.
ahead, BB. I'll go after you.
Okay. BB, numbers 1 to 5. What do you want to pick?
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay. Let's see what we have at number 3. That's your topic. Those are the images. Whatever comes to your mind when you look at these images. Toastmaster BB.
Can you stop sharing, please? Fellow table topic master, most welcome guest, and fellow Toastmaster. That image brings back memories, memories of growing up, memories of friends who were together and wanted to make an impression and be part of this world. Those friends that wanted to liberate themselves and be independent, at the same time leveraging off of each other so that they can all reach that special plateau that they all aim for. That group of friends decided that, hey, let's go for it. And in order to concrete and justify their theme of working together, the joy that brings the blessings and the conviction of working together, they decided to take a photograph of all of them lying on the floor, looking up in the sky, looking up at the stars, and dreaming and praying that whatever their goal is, that they would be able to achieve that goal. Many of us look in different manners in which we can achieve our goal. Some of us will lie on the ground and take photographs, look at the stars. Some of us will sit down and meditate. And some of us will just have the natural ability to focus in and zero in on what you want to achieve. Whichever one criteria you meet, that criteria will help you liberate yourself to achieve your goal. Remember, everyone, it is within your hands to reach whatever goal, and never ever feel you have to do it alone. You have friends. Reach out, leverage off of friends, leverage off a fellow Toastmaster, and even leverage off the man in the street. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you, BB. That was fantastic. And now with that, we move ahead to the second topic. And I remember Ken raised his hand. So Ken, what number do you pick?
I'll have number 1.
Okay. So number 1, table topic 1, Ken, table topic 1.
April 2nd, 2025 will go down in history as Donald Trump's so-called Liberation Day. What also happens in April is that the garlic bulbs that were planted in the soil in the fall liberate themselves to the outdoors. Don't confuse them with weeds. They are meant to be harvested and eaten months from now. But until that time, you need patience. You need sunshine. you need water, and a little back-breaking work to sow the soil and plant the seeds and weed the soil. Anything worth having is worth working hard for, especially when it comes to the garden. There's no quick fixes. There's no quick solutions. And what your garden is doing for you is it's converting the energy from the sun into food energy to nourish your body. And when you die, you go give back all that energy that you haven't used yet back to the soil so that future generations of plants can thrive. Yes, it is an endless cycle. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, people to soil, soil to people. I hope you're thinking of that the next time you eat something. You're eating people. No, just don't think about that. You're eating, worms, ants, other animals, ground up, composted, and fed to the plants, who then you eat. And then, of course, you thrive. You can come to Toastmasters and tell everybody that there's more to their food than just the high prices brought on by tariffs on April the 2nd. I'm Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Ken. I'm so glad I've already had my dinner. All right, so now for the next table topic, I would invite a guest to take this one up. We still have 3 topics to go. How about the guest in the room?
Yes. We have a guest. One moment, please.
Yes. The guest in the room, would you like to take a stab at this table topic?
Oh,
Hi, and your name is?
hi, my name is Yuri.
Yuri. Okay, so we have topic number 2, 4, and 5. What do you want to pick?
Okay, I'm going to introduce myself one more time. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Yuri Wimsrico.
Hi, Yuri. Thank you, and welcome to Liberty Village Toastmasters. We have topics 2, 4, and 5. Which topic do you want to pick?
Let's go with 4.
4, okay. Topic number 4, Yuri. That's your topic whenever you're ready.
Given it's April, now is the time for spring to really rush in. Now is the time when the weather is getting warmer, everyone's getting outside and really enjoying everything that the day has to offer us. The sun is coming out, it's getting brighter, you can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. It's likely a good time to maybe just get out for the day and go to the park and hang out while reading a good book and maybe drinking a nice drink. It's also a nice time to meet up with friends and maybe go to a park and go for a nice walk in the park. I will also mention that this is my first time at Toastmasters, so this is a very interesting experience for me. But back to the topic at hand. Spring is a good time to truly liberate yourself from the depths of winter. It's an amazing time to free yourself and feel renewed. And because of that, you often get a lot of natural vitamin D from the sun. And that naturally boosts your mood and has other rewarding aspects to it, contributing to just an overall positive feeling. Additionally, if you decide to go for a walk during the spring, you often experience getting to see people that maybe otherwise you wouldn't run into. Maybe you run into a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while because you've been trapped inside all winter. And that's one of the benefits of spring coming into fruition is liberating yourself again from just the confines of your own home. Last but not least, spring brings beautiful flowers. Flowers come into bloom during spring, and the sky is nice blue. And oh, and I'm done. Sorry. Thank you so much. I appreciate any and all feedback. Bye.
Thank you so much, Yuri. Wow, spring. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. All right, so with this, we have two more topics to go. Anna, would you like to try this one?
Absolutely.
All right. So we have topic number 2 and 5 left. What do you want to pick?
Number 5.
Okay. Anna, table topic number 5. Table topic number 5. Anna.
Uh-huh. Okay. Excellent. Good evening, everybody. I'm so delighted to be here tonight and participate in this amazing club, which is quite famous, where people come together to liberate their skills, their emotions, their messages and thoughts in an effort to communicate and bring themselves closer to other members of the community, to other human beings, and empathize, much like people in your family. I hope to get my message across. Looking at the image that was flashed, one was the beach, and again, it's another place where people go as a release or liberation of the routine, from the day-to-day hustle. And I think it's important to take that opportunities like that, to travel and have an active creativity, if you may, to release and liberate more talent. Right before joining this Zoom call, I was reading on LinkedIn the top skills that are in demand in the workplace. Number 1 is conflict mitigation. Number 2, adaptability, innovative thinking, and 4 is public speaking. So it's my wish that we can practice that. Thank you very much.
With that, we move to the last one. Rita, would you like to take this? All right, so sharing my screen. And Rita, your topic is here on your screen.
Madam Table Topic Leader, fellow Toastmasters, and to our esteemed guests. As I look at the images on the screen that were presented to me, It reminded me of how much I enjoy nature, how much I savor being outdoors, how much I love to walk through the forest and look at the sky and listen to the birds and listen to the streams that are flowing. That certainly offers me that opportunity to liberate all of my feelings, all of my thoughts. As you can tell, I am a very outdoorsy person. I'm a very environmentally conscious person. I enjoy going to the lake at least once a week, regardless of the weather, regardless of the climate. I can drive down to Lake Ontario in the middle of winter, sit in my vehicle and just watch the waves go by and just watch the birds enjoying the water. So that image for me, Madam Table Topic Leader, brings back so many memories of how I could fulfill my life, how I could liberate myself by being in the outdoors. And with that, I yield the mic, Madam Table Topic Leader.
Thank you so much, Rita. And with that, we come to the end of Table Topics segment. Now is your time to vote for the best table topic speaker. And there's a link on chat for those who are in the room. You could put that on a slip of paper. What am I saying? On a slip. You can put it on a slip, the name of the speaker that you like the best, and hand it to Elton so that he can pass your votes to Bruce and he can calculate to find us our best table topic speaker for the day. A quick recap of who spoke on what topic. Here are the slides. We had Ken talking about plants and how we eat humans. We had Rita talking about her love for nature and her love for being outdoor. We had Bibi talking about friends and growing up and pictures. Then we had Yuri talking about spring. And we had Anna talking about the beach and places people want to go and bring themselves out and learning and whatnot. Please cast your vote using the link or on a slip and pass it to Elton if you're in the room. Thank you. And with this, I pass this back to the Toastmaster of the day, Elton. Elton, over to you.
Thank you very much, for your table topics. I found them to be innovating. Thank you very much. And now we move to our very first and only speaker, Sabrina, and she is going to be giving her speech titled Sorry, 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 Stop Apologizing, Empower Your Communication. It's the theme of her meeting. So just give us a couple seconds so we can set up her her slides, and then we'll be off and running. Follow me.
Yeah, that's for the workshop.
Okay. And
Oh, wait, okay, I see it. I think so. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you.
Timer Adrian, she wants to be timed at 20 minutes for the green, 25 for the yellow, and 30 for the red. Okay?
Had one of those moments where you go back and think, what the F did I just say? That was me a few years ago. I was standing in the washroom, staring at myself, questioning what on earth I just said. I was on a work trip with a team that I led. It was an opportunity to share feedback and expand my team's mandate. And it was an amazing opportunity. I got to meet with executives, I got to meet project managers and other VIPs. However, during a particular group discussion, I found myself challenging a project manager and sharing a growth-focused solution based upon, a few years of experience that I have in the world. You want to know something? I was clear, I was concise, I was also supported by my fellow team members. But as I wrapped up my feedback, I found myself saying, I'm sorry. I don't understand why you don't see the value. Pausing for a moment, how do you think I felt when I said this? And for those that are online, you can feel free just to unmute yourself, and those that are in person, feel free just to jump in. How do you think I felt when I said those words?
Embarrassed.
Pardon?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed?
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard embarrassed, but
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Anyone else? How about someone from in person? Go ahead.
Anxious.
Myself, anxious. Yeah. And you're right. To be honest, it was a little bit of everything. I was a little confused, frustrated, and honestly, I was a little annoyed at myself that I said this, but it happened. But going back to the bathroom, when I was staring at myself, it was almost as if the mirror knew what I said. And between you and me, I did not use the word earth. It might have involved a swear word or two, but that's going to be our little secret for today. But that was my moment that I realized how the language that we use in terms of softening language, apology language that we sometimes use, they can undermine us. They dilute our confidence and the impact that we have, even though we are experts in our field and we know what we're talking about. And today in my workshop, that is what you will learn. You'll learn how to speak assertively with actionable solutions to reframe your own softening language in real time so you can communicate more assertively. Because by doing so, you'll be able to communicate with confidence. You'll be able to unlock more opportunities so you can do more of what you want when you want to do it. And so at this point, everyone should have a bingo card in front of them. And for those that are online, there should be a link to that in the chat. Thank you, Bruce, for sharing the link for me. And what I would like you to do is to pay attention to the words that you may hear in the workshop. So for example, I'm sorry, I think, just, I'm no expert. Cross them off if you hear them in the workshop. So by now, if you're paying attention, we should all have crossed off the word sorry. But let's dive in and start to understand why we use softening language. So today I'm going to share with you 3 reasons of why we typically use softening language when we communicate. To share a quick story to better highlight this, I'm going to share with you a story. Last year, I had the opportunity to attend a networking event. It was a fantastic event. There were highly educated, highly intelligent people, doctors, PhDs, scientists, journalists, really great room of a lot of important people. And I observed something. In the span of 2 hours, there was an unusually high number of softening language or apology language that was used. Does anyone have any guesses in terms of the number of times I heard the word sorry or some sort of derivative? And again, feel free just to shout out. Any ideas? 200? Okay. 100. Okay. How about somebody from online?
35.
Pardon?
35.
35?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 35, you're closest, 15 times in the span of 2 hours. Isn't that nuts? And to be honest, there was no reason that there was an apology needed. But that takes me to my first reason, cultural conditioning or socialization. From a young age, a lot of us are taught to be polite, to be humble, to be accommodating, to respect elders. Who here, and those online, feel free to put your hands up, who here has been taught to respect your elders? Okay, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a full house online, even though I can't see it. But yes, that's because it's ingrained into us from a young age to respect your elders. And if you're going to be asking a question, or if you're going to be talking to somebody, doing something and using apology language, it actually proves to them or demonstrates to them that you are being disobedient, that you're being disrespectful. But here's something interesting. Softening language, when you use that, it doesn't affect all of us the same way. In a study by Dr. Schulman a few years ago, she made an observation that one particular gender uses softening language more often compared to another gender. Does anyone have any ideas of who that gender may or may not be?
Women apologize.
Okay. For those that didn't hear,
I'm sorry to say, but I think women.
yeah, but you are right. It is females. And if I were to take that step further, on a daily basis, on a scale from 1 to 100, how often do you think females would typically use softening language? And again, you can feel free to unmute yourself if you're online.
80%.
80%. You're very, very hot. How about someone from in person? The question is, on a daily basis, from a scale from 1 to 100, how often do you think females typically use softening language? Oh, you guys are reading my notes here. So 70% of females use softening language on a daily basis. Isn't that wild? And again, there's no reason to it. And it's not just because females love to say sorry. It goes back to what we've been taught, what's been ingrained into us, to be overly humble. But to take a step forward, what country are we all in? Canada. I think you guys are getting what I'm saying. It's part of our Canadian DNA. And for a Canadian, all of us are practically famous for being overly polite, eh? Okay, so that's reason number one. Moving on to our reason number two, and that is the fear of negative perception or conflict. A lot of us use softening language out of fear of what other people may perceive them as. They don't want to make somebody upset. They don't want to be perceived that they're going to be rude. And so because of that, people typically tend to use overly apologetic or softening language when they communicate with others. And that stems from something else that we're taught, to care about what other people think. We've been taught people are over here, we are over here. And that's not how it should be. It should be the opposite. We should be here, others should be here. But let me share a quick example. For those that have ever taken the TDC, you may have sometimes noticed, sometimes people bump into you. When somebody bumps into you, what's your automatic response? Sorry, you're right. It's sorry or some sort of derivative of that. But why are you apologizing? Somebody's bumping into you. It goes back to what we've been taught, and it's ingrained, so it becomes default, secondhand nature for us. But that's our second reason why. Our third reason why is imposter syndrome. Does anyone here ever feel like they don't quite fit in? And you can put your hands up, and for those that are online, put your hands up as well, please. You feel like you don't just quite fit in. You don't quite know what you're doing, regardless of your expertise, any degrees that you have, what you've achieved. I'm in that category too. And that's in essence what imposter syndrome is. It's that feeling like you don't deserve what you've achieved. And it's kind of like that old adage to fake it until you make it. But if you're faking it, people essentially fear that they're going to be found out, that they'll know that they don't know everything. And that tends to lead people to use overly apologetic language and let other people take control over things. But that's our third reason. So to quickly recap, the three reasons of what we learned. Number one, cultural conditioning and socialization. Our second reason is fear of negative perception and conflict. The third reason was imposter syndrome. Technical difficulties, just bear with me for a moment. Elton, do I just press the button? Trying to change the slide, but in the interest of time, I'll just keep going. Basically, I do have our three reasons why listed on the slide, but I'm going to keep going. But as you can see from our three reasons, it's something that we do out of habit, and that it's tied to other reasons. Society, it's tied to culture, and because we've been conditioned to care about what other people think, we use overly apologetic language over and over again. But I think we have the awareness now. We have the understanding of the three reasons why we typically use this. Don't you think it's time for us to figure out, how do we fix this? How can we improve ourselves to make us replace the softening language that we use and make ourselves more confident and more assertive when we speak? So what we're going to do now is we're going to move into a reframe exercise, and we're going to go over a couple of examples together so we can start the process in our mind to think this way. But just bear with me for a moment. I'm just going to go to the laptop to change the slides. Okay. So typically, when somebody's late for a meeting, what do they say? Sorry for being late to a meeting. But if we want to reframe that, does anyone have any ideas? Oh, I see hands up. Okay, go ahead. Caroline? Candace. Okay, go ahead, please. Thanks for waiting. Okay, excellent. That's a pro move. How about anyone from online? And again, you can feel free to shout it out.
Thank you for your patience.
Thanks for your patience. Okay, excellent. You're reading my notes here. But basically what this is, it's a simple flip to reframe what we typically say. So thank you for waiting. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for allowing me time. There's many different things that you can say, but in essence, what you're doing is you're taking out the softening language that you typically may be using without thinking and replacing that with something that's a little bit more direct, that's more assertive. But let's try another example. Technical difficulties. Okay, our next example is going back to when you're on the subway or you take the train, somebody bumps into you. You're apologizing. We've determined that's not the right move here. But instead of saying, sorry, it's my fault, what else could we say? Does anyone have any ideas? No worries. I like it. You're polite. How about somebody from our online group?
Are you okay?
Was that you okay?
Yeah.
You okay? I like it. Polite. How about one
My,
more?
my knee jerk is usually, oh.
Oh, simple. Okay, excellent. These are all really great examples of what you can do. But if you notice, there's no sorry word or a derivative of sorry being used there. And so what we heard is no worries. Are you okay? Or, oh, I have to say, I haven't used the word oh used in that regard, so I kind of like it. But these are all great reframe options. But to share with you what I came up with is a few other options. You can say something along the lines of pardon you, excuse you, after you. If you have a little bit of a dad level cheesy sense of humor, which I love, you can also throw in some jokes. One thing that I came up with, and feel free to laugh, who needs morning coffee when you have awkward eye contact on the TDC? That's something that you can say. Thank you, Elton, for laughing at my jokes, because I know you like your coffee. But these are very simple things that you can do to reframe your language. But let's shift slightly. Let's go to a medium level example, because these are pretty easy. Would you agree? Okay. Going back to my story, I said the phrase, I'm sorry, I don't understand why you don't see the value. What I would like to do now is, timer Adrian, if I could ask you to place 2 minutes on the timer and show us red at 2 minutes. What I would love for everyone to do is see what you can come up with to reframe this sentence to make it more assertive and more empowering. That was my expression that I shared with the project manager, yes.
Do you want us to speak and respond to it?
Pardon?
Do you want us to speak and respond to it?
Yeah, so once the timer finishes at 2, then I'll ask for a couple of volunteers.
Sure.
Excellent. Thank you, timer Adrian. So that is 2 minutes. So what I'd love to do now is to ask one or two of you what you came up with your reframe option. How about, let's start with somebody from our online group. And again, feel free just to unmute yourself.
Okay, I could take this one.
Okay, please go ahead.
I would have reframed it and I would have said, I appreciate a different point of view. Could you elaborate a little more for me?
Excellent. Could you elaborate? Okay, how about somebody from our in-person group? Go ahead. Okay, excellent. So just to recap what we heard, Yukla had the suggestion, I appreciate a different point of view. Could you please elaborate? The second suggestion that we had is, this plan is valuable. Let's plan to work together, or something to that effect is what she said. And I think these are all really great suggestions. But of a quick show of hands, do you think one is more impactful versus the other? So one was more posed as a question, the other one was more of a statement. Maybe by a show of hands, do you feel like the first one, the question, was more impactful? Okay. Or how about the second one, the statement? Okay, we have a few more hands up for the statement. Thank you for that. And thank you to our volunteers for sharing your reframe options. And so both options are really great suggestions in terms of what you can do. And it's not a fixed pattern that it has to follow formula A, B, or C in terms of when you're reframing. You find what matches your voice, what is more suitable to how you talk and how you communicate. And then you can flip your reframe to that. So my suggestion would be is, when you're reframing in this particular example, instead of posing it as a question, because in essence, you're still using a softening tone, you're asking somebody for their approval. What you potentially can do is remove that question and make it a statement. So similar to what Candace said, okay? Or I'm going to share with you another option that I came up with. So for example, this feedback is based upon my experience. Let me know your thoughts. Or my feedback is supported by points A and B, which makes this worth considering. So they're very similar things to what Yukta said, or what Candace said as well. But in essence, what you're doing is you're removing the sort of the softening language that you would be using. But what I would like to do now is I would like to do one more exercise. And we're going to go back to that bingo card that everyone has. So what I would like to do now is I would like to pick two phrases that maybe one person uses frequently online or you feel connected to, and one that you may feel that you're connected to in person. And then what we're going to do is we're going to reframe that. So from those that are in person, let's start with you first. Is there a particular word or phrase that stands out to you more from the bingo card? I just think. Okay, excellent, excellent.
My
Okay,
2 cents, I've heard it so many times and I didn't think it was not that great, like you said right now.
okay, excellent. Thank you, Anna, for that. So what we're gonna do is I'd like everyone to take a couple of minutes, reframe the phrase, I just think, and also reframe the second sentence, my 2 cents. So timer, if we could have read at 2 minutes, please. Excellent. Thank you again, Timer, for keeping us on track. So let's see what you came up with. Our first sentence was, I just think. What do you think we could do to reframe that? Does anyone have any ideas?
How about I believe?
I believe. Okay. Anyone else?
In my opinion.
Excellent. So we heard, I believe, it's my understanding, my opinion. I think these are very strong contenders. My suggestion, or before I get to my suggestion, what does everyone else think? Does everyone agree that these are all strong contenders of what you could potentially do to reframe? Okay, so we're getting a few nods. So I love, it's my understanding, my opinion. I believe is very similar to the phrase I think. It's still using a softening tone to the language when you're communicating. My suggestion for that is you could say, I'm confident that, I want to emphasize. Very similar words, but when you say them and how they come across, they're two different things. But let's shift to the second sentence. Just my 2 cents. Does anyone have any options of what you could say to reframe that? How about Elton? We haven't heard from you in a while.
I don't like that.
These are my thoughts. That's a really great suggestion. How about anyone else? Maybe somebody from our online group? Okay, that's okay. So Elton said, these are my thoughts. You can also say, here's my perspective. I'm confident in that. So there's many different things that you can use. And again, it goes back to finding your voice and what matches what you want to say and what you want to communicate. But as I wrap up, what I want to share with you is I'm not telling you to never apologize, to never use softening language again in your life. There's definitely times when you would feel like you would want to use it. For example, in times of sympathy, in times of when you want to show compassion to somebody. So there's definitely circumstances when you should be using apology language or softening language when you want to interact with somebody. But it's paying attention to when you're in a personal or professional environment that you should limit the times that you say it. Because if you focus on how you feel and how you come across, it does impact the quality of how you're perceived. And that's something that people feel very strongly about, especially if you want to grow and develop. But what I want to ask you now is we understand the awareness. We understand the reasons why. We learned 3 reasons why. I'd like to take a moment to reflect on what this means for us moving forward. So my question to you is, what did you learn today? And those that don't know me, if you smile at me, I will ask you. So you're smiling at me. What did you learn today? Excellent. And I love that expression, to communicate authentically and to, care a little less about what other people think, because in this day and age, you should be true to who you are. So that's a great takeaway. How about one person from our online group?
Sabrina is confident.
Pardon?
Sabrina is confident.
Sabrina is confident. You're a sweetheart, Rita. I'm going to give you a virtual hug. Thank you. Work in progress. I am a softening language user. But as I wrap up, I want to share with you, I want to finish my story very quickly. So when I was in that bathroom, staring at myself in the mirror, I had a fellow team member come in and she said to me, "Girl, you don't need to be apologizing." And that's my takeaway for you. That's my challenge for you. If you see somebody using over apologetic language, take them aside, explain to them what you learned in this workshop today. You have a bingo card. In a moment, you will get a handout with the top 25 words and phrases that people typically use. And that's something that you can pay attention to. And if you are one of those people that typically use sorry or some sort of derivative often, create yourself a sorry jar. Whenever you find yourself saying it, monitor yourself over the next couple of weeks. Throw in some money, a little bit there, a little bit more than 2 cents, Elton. You know, inflation has gone up, but that's something that will help you bring that awareness and change your mindset. So you can do more of the things that you want to do going forward. And I think that's pretty magical. And that's all I had. Back to you, Elton.
Well, thank you so much. You have really,
No, okay.
you have
Yeah,
really
ju-
taught all of us that there is a better way to communicate without doing the sorry, I apologize. You know, well, that's my 2 cents. So this is very good because these are subliminal habits. They just happen. You don't even know sometimes when you say these things. Yeah, and that's why you need that jar.
Yeah.
That's why I need that.
Don't worry, Elton. A lot of us need it.
So thank you so much. Oops,
Elton, can we stop the sharing, please?
I'm doing it right now.
Thank you. I also need your table topics votes sent to me via WhatsApp.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're back.
So there you go.
Just give me a few minutes, Bruce, and you'll have them. I need to find my phone.
Okay. Should I take over for GE?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Elton. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, this is the third portion of the meeting, which is the evaluation segment. Due to the timing, we're running a little bit behind, but our first up, we're going to have a round robin evaluation for Sabrina about her workshop presentation. I'll refrain from saying anything because I've got some comments in my general evaluation report. So who would like to say anything? We've only got about 3 to 4 minutes. Mr. Timer, if you can do 3 minutes at green, 3.5 at yellow, and 4 at red in total, so not each person. So please keep that in mind. Thank you. And who would like to say anything? I can't really see, well, I can barely see the in-person audience, so come on, let's give her some feedback. That's why she's here. Anyone can either raise their hand or unmute
Okay,
themselves.
I can do it.
Okay.
First of all, I really did enjoy your presentation. It was very light, airy, which was pleasant after all of the news that we're constantly bombarded with all day. So I think it was highly relatable, which is extremely important to have a speech that people will say, yeah, I can dig that. This is real. And so I think you came across with a platform with your slides, which were minimal, which I thought were great. So you didn't have us looking too long at your slides. You made us keep looking at you, which is, that's where it should be, right? It's all about you. And so I want to thank you for your presentation, and I wish you all the best when you Take it to the moon. Anybody else?
Thank you, Elton.
Thank you, Elton. Anyone else want to say something? Nobody's speaking up. Maybe everyone was completely satisfied. That's a good way of thinking of it, I guess.
If I can add something, I'm actually presenting it at the conference in April, so I would appreciate the feedback in terms of the audience perspective. If you felt that there's an opportunity to improve upon something, and while this is like a condensed version, I cut out like about 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like a high level overview.
I mentioned that in my GE report, and there won't be at the conference. There will not be any online portion of it. It is solely in person, so we won't have any issues with the not hearing people in the room what they were saying and hopefully the slide deck will move along smoothly for her. Trust me, it worked. It worked before everybody started arriving. So anyway, okay, we've only got 5 minutes left, so I'm going to get into, thank you for Elton for speaking up. So I'm going to get into my GE report, and then I have to call on the reports. And the reports will be quickly. I'm just using my home club's evaluation, general evaluation report. Did the meeting start on time? No, we were 1 minute late. Had some issues before. The quality of the speeches. This wasn't our normal club meeting, as we had a special presentation of a conference workshop being done on April 26th. Wonderfully presented by Sabrina. Lots of audience interaction, which is key for a workshop. Unfortunate with the slides not moving along. As I said, it was working before the guests started arriving. No, really, it truly was. Great online bingo card created. I clicked on the sorry thing and put an X through it. It was perfect. Table topics, TTL, Yukta had some nice images for us to choose from, picking a number. We had a request from the first one to remove the screen share, and that continued for each participant afterwards. So good call there. Thank you, BB. Suggestions for improvement. Gotta love hybrid meetings. Technically, they can be really amazing. Yeah, then frustrating. We couldn't hear the in-person audience's replies, but most were repeated by Sabrina. What roles got done particularly well? All roles got filled prior to today, which was excellent, and including myself, suggesting that BB relieve one of Rita's roles. And other comments to end on a positive note. Thank you, Sabrina, for sharing a portion of your 50-minute workshop with us. Truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you for that. Timers report. Adrian, how was everything? Just make it quick.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. Well, I just want to start with a positive note and just say great work, everyone. On the time, we did go a little bit over schedule, but that's all good. You all liberated me from my traffic light duties. And today, I just want to recap all the time. So, BB, you came in with 2 minutes. Ken, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Yuri, 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Anna, 2 minutes and 22 seconds again. Rita, 1 minute and 50 seconds. And Sabrina, during your speech, today you went for 32 minutes and 9 seconds. Thank you, Bruce. Back to you.
For that. Grammarians report, Rita?
Yes, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters. I said at the beginning that I'm looking for outstanding words and phrases, and tonight we were rich with them. I heard words like cognizant, grace period, random, let the speaker in you come out, memories of growing up, memory of friends, leveraging, lots of very joyful, very enlightening and refreshing language to be used this evening. We use the word of the day, which was liberate 13 times, And so I'm really happy with that. I did not give a number, but we used it 13 times. So back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Grammarian. And over to our all-counter BB.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. I would say that we are doing better at our usage of filler words. However, I must add to that I am pretty each and every one of us had filler words today. I think I had myself. And the filler words that were most common were so, and ah. Those all the speakers use filler words today. And with that, in the interest of time, I remind you, if you know you're going to do a filler word, please stop and pause. And again, give us that beautiful smile that will help us in the delivery of our speeches. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, BB. And I'll turn it back to Toastmaster Elton to ask for the table topics winner.
Yes, and so who is our table topics winner? Bruce?
Sorry, I meant to pass it over to Yukta. Yukta, go ahead.
All right, so today we have two winners. We have both Rita and Ken who have won the table topic segment. Congratulations!
Thank you very much. That's kind of nice to have. It's kind of nice to have two people win.
Yeah. Do you have the microphone handy there, Elton? There we go. Thank you.
It's nice to have two people win. It just really rounds out the evening. So club business. The only thing that I want to mention is the fact that on April 29th, if you notice at the bottom of your agenda, where you are invited to our open house, which is on the 29th of April. The theme is what can I do now to be a better speaker? Same time, same place, and then there is the registration link. But just because you are wonderful people, your names will automatically be placed in the database. And so a week from the 29th, you will get the flyer and all the information so that you can return. We'll be here, and we will also have light refreshments.
Good stuff. Thank you. I was going to mention that as well. Yeah, because normally we meet the second and fourth Tuesday, but we decided to pass on the 22nd just because of the conference and business meeting activities that are happening. So we bumped it to the 29th. So there we go.
Okay, so can we hear from our guests?
Oh, yes, please. Anna, you're the only one online, so why don't you start with the online? Thank you.
Okay. Feedback. I loved every speech. I'm grateful to be part of this today's session. I was just thinking, would there be an exemption for apologizing for maybe messing up an order at a restaurant? If my plate comes with a free fly in it, would I expect an apology? Or I think maybe the waiter at least could say, let me try to make this better for you or make this right. But I would really appreciate sorry.
And I think it always goes back to context, what the scenario is. I think the intention or the message that I wanted to be taken away is we apologize, we use softening language more often than not. And I'm not sure if anyone caught me. I did somehow use the word I think towards the end. And so it does happen to a lot of us that we use it more often than not. But if you have that awareness, it starts the mind shift in your mind. Over the next couple of days to months, you'll start to notice it and you'll say it less. But going back to what you said, if you get like a fly or a hair in your meal, like definitely that goes back to customer service. Like I think an apology is needed. And so it does go back to content there. But great question. Thank you, Anna.
Okay. And from our guests in the room, we have two. So I'm going to pass the mic over to the one that's closest to me.
Hello again. So my feedback is honestly overwhelmingly positive. This is my first time attending Toastmasters, and it's been a great experience. The meeting is incredibly efficient, which I appreciate after a long work day. And I'm looking forward to coming back again on April 29th. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really touched by the spirit of the session and the organization, and I love to see such an eclectic group of people coming together for something to like drive themselves forward in some way. I love to see people doing that. So thanks for having me and letting me participate in that with you all today.
So we hope that to our guests and to our club members, we're hoping that all of you will return on the 29th and by the way, we are having a past international president of Toastmasters. He's going to be our keynote speaker. And so he's very anxious to get online and give his presentation. And then we have a second individual who is also giving a speech as well. So this is great because you're going to see one person, Jim Kokochi, who's the past international president. He is one who is a experienced speaker. Then the other individual is moving up the ladder, as I'm going to say.
And if I may add, the other individual is Big Brother Season 9 Canada's winner. And that's Tishon Newman Carter. You might want to Google him. He is a celebrity and a part of Toastmasters. So, as a celebrity, he speaks at several events and he still thinks Toastmasters can help him grow. And he is growing through Toastmasters. So, you will see how Toastmasters can even help people who are already speaking well and are out there being paid for it.
Yeah. And Jim will be online, but Tishon will be in person at that location there. And I'll be there in person. Adrian's going to be there in person.
Oh, no. I mean, how nice.
You're going to have a full house then almost.
No, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Uh-oh, I think we have a lockup.
Oh yeah, he's talking on the phone.
We can't hear you.
Oh, there you go.
Wait. Okay, say something now, Bruce. Stop laughing.
I can't help it. I always laugh with you. So anyway.
I'm gonna hit that when I see you on the 29th.
There you go. So are you gonna close it off for us then?
Okay, so we've already heard from our guests. We've invited them to the April 29th event. And are there any other announcements? Anything that someone wants to bring up before the meeting is adjourned?
I just wanted to say thank you for having me.
Oh,
I
yes.
didn't mean to interrupt, Bruce. Thank you for having me. Thank you to Eva for helping me arrange this and a chance to practice.
Great. Thank you, Sabrina.
Oh,
Truly appreciate it because this ticks off one of my boxes at the conference, so I can go see someone else now.
Oh, no, that was part of the deal, Bruce.
I'm only kidding.
Okay, great. I'm going to hold you to that.
All righty, and so if there are no other announcements or anything that anyone wants to add, this meeting is adjourned.